great. Let me just move this a little bit further. All right, cool. We're live. And I got to share this real quick.
Oh, yeah. Share it on all the things.
Yeah.
I will do the same.
Okay, cool. So here we are. It's early, or it's late in the afternoon here in New Mexico, and I'm here with Troy Chambers, the designer of Empyreal, and we are going to show you what's in the box for As Above, So Below. Can you pop that up here? And then, so As Above, So Below, the expansion game, and Deluxe Edition. All right. Also, I have this box, which is the bonus trains. So if you ordered the 45 of every train extra, you'll be getting this box, which has a full set of extra trains, which you could use to replace all of your trains Ticket to Ride or any number of other train games.
Steam.
Yeah, but they work specifically with Ticket to Ride, among others. So. Greetings, everyone. Can you guys hear me okay? Any problems on audio, or are we all good? Do I need to turn my volume up a little bit? Say something, Trey.
What did you share the stream on?
Yeah, YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's shared via YouTube.
On social media.
Oh, okay.
I can't find the link.
Well, Chris will post it. We don't have to worry about posting it to everybody.
Gotcha.
Yeah. No, let my people handle that.
Oh,
right?
Yeah. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah. I think we've got good sound. If for some reason you can't hear Trey,
I can move closer. Yeah.
So you may have seen this box last and thought yourself ever get full. Well, Trey and I have integrated all of these boxes, except the extra trains, into this box, and you can kind of see how it looks on the inside. So a little quiet. Okay, well, just turn us up. Just play it loud, like Nintendo style. I will. So anyway, so I'll open this up and stack this and show you how what we got here. So, rulebook for Above and Below for the game. Now, in this setup, they only sent me a test of each tray individually. So I got these are the company trays. So in this, you would have all of your trains, your character pawn, and or your conductor pawn, and then your two captain tiles pop onto the top of that, and that's how you store the individual player components for each company. And I'm gonna pull this out so it's not tipped. So that's how that goes. We also got updated placards, so you can see. Here's the placards from the expansion game, base game, and how they look with the gold foil on the back. So this is how they come in every edition. They have shiny gold foil on the backs of all the captains.
Looks really cool.
Yeah, so it's a great addition. This feels really, really awesome in your hands. And of course, there's a lot of captains once you have the expansion integrated. It comes with 8 more captains. Well, actually 10 more captains, because 6 basic companies and then 4 for the 2 new companies.
Yes. Should totally get the expansion.
Yeah, everyone is here, Smash Brothers style. All right. And yeah, we did already punch the expansion. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
It was too. It was
not
too
an
much
unboxing
to
video.
pass up. Yeah, this is not a true
We've already
unboxing video.
unboxed it.
So this tray holds the solo Automa players, the Metro tiles, which are the 8 variant modes that you can play with. So these fit nicely in here. And the bonus wild captains, who of course are also gold foiled. So got that. All right. With all of the extra specialists, this tray is almost totally full.
But that's all the specialists.
This is all the specialists in both both the base game and the expansion. Yeah. So I think you play with n plus 3 of these in each game.
Yeah.
Is that right? All right. So here's what they've probably really been waiting for. this is the deluxe edition player board. Okay, so you have a company. It's got this nice silver emboss on it. It's a nice thick, heavy board. This folds open to be your player board. So when you get the deluxe edition, you get one of these for every one of the 8 companies. So these are super nice. They turned out great. And you can see like each company has their own board. So that's those. This is the big cool draw of deluxe, or probably the biggest coolest thing in deluxe is that you get all these extra player boards. Quite nice.
Can they still add deluxe, or they have to get it from the store at this point?
You can. You probably have to get it from the store. I mean,
So they can
if you've already pledged for Imperial and you haven't pledged for deluxe yet, you'd have to contact us. I mean, if you really want this, contact us. This is the tray for the city. So you can see like the city miniatures plug into here, and then these are all of the goods tiles. So you can see how that tray system works there. And all these trays are functional, so you can use them during the game. Like this one, once I randomly deal out my 6 specialists or whatever that I'm going to use for the game, they sit in here, and I can just use this as a caddy during the game. Right? These trays, I can keep all of my trains in here while I'm playing the game. So all of these trays are very functional for the game. They're functional for the gameplay as well as functional for storage.
Yeah.
So in the expansion, we have this tray specifically has train cars that you can only get through some of the metros, and it's got advisors who are a new kind of specialist that comes through the metros, and then they have those advisors have little tiles that go with them, which come in here. All right. Some of these trays have lids for easy storage, especially the ones that go in the intermediate layers of the box. We reduced the size of the mana crystals a little bit, so they're not quite so big. This fits on the player board a bit better. It does mean that we have some extra space in the box, so that gives us a little expansion potential. We'll see where that goes. Yeah.
If it's well received, there'll definitely be some stuff.
The award tiles also have this gold ribbon on the back, which you can see. So these come on the same gold embossed sheet as the captains. Size of the table, it definitely scales with the number of players because the central board can take up a lot of space. So 8 players, you probably want to get a really big table. 4 players shouldn't be that much of a problem. 1 to 4 players is it's like a normal size board game table footprint. If you go to 5 and 6, it's you're gonna need a big table, and if you dare to try the 7 and 8 player game, then you're gonna need a dinner table. You need one of those long dinner tables. But you can easily play 1 to 4 players on a standard board game table. Yeah. Did you bring the tiles up? What tiles? The hex tiles. They're at the bottom. Oh, they are. Oh, okay, great, cool. Yeah. We'll get to the hex tiles in a bit. You can see how they scale compared. Yeah, they're not huge. But so the expansion companies, of course, have their own folios, as does everyone else. I'll open up one more of these so we can show them again, because I think the more screen time these things get, the better. But it's super great. Really great. You come to game night. This is already sitting in your place. Yeah. You open it up like you're the director of the board, and then you start playing the game. Yeah. It's quite nice. And what I noticed, they're actually very because to get them to lay flat, you might have to do some slight bending. But notice it doesn't. The component is strong enough. Bending it to get it to lay flat is not going to hurt. It's not going to break. Yeah, they're pretty resilient, and once you get a few games in with them, they'll lay flat just fine. Once they lay flat, that's not going to be a major worry. They will be a little bit springy when they first come out of the box, like new components typically are. Okay, so last things down here. This holds wastelands and maybe some potential expansion mana crystals sometime, and also the little first player train whistle punch out. I thought it was pretty cute that they even put in a tray slot for that. Yeah. Everything has a place. Yeah. This is the probably the coolest tray in the game. This is the car tray. So you can see with the expansion and the base game, this is totally filled up. Like every slot this thing's taken. And when you're playing the game, the cars actually come out on display like this. So it's a functional market and it's a storage part.
It's tilted, so it helps with glare.
Yep.
And readability across the table. So very nice.
Yeah. So this one turned out quite cool. And I'll just pop these back into place. And of course a lid to keep them all safe during storage. Finally, you have this. This is the resource bin. And it's right now I've got the little punch tokens in it, but it's big enough, it's larger so that it can hold all of the miniatures if you get the deluxe edition with all of the minis. The factory didn't send me 30 copies of each mini. They just sent me the like 1 or 2 prototypes of each mini, which I showed in a previous stream. So but we can throw in 30 of these and it'll fit just fine. They're quite deep. So, and it's got a little cover which shows you which resources go into which slots. I don't know if you can see the iconography that is on the tray, but that's that. All right, and then we get down to this box here. So these are the tiles, and I'm just going to give a size comparison. Each of these tiles is about a foot. I would say a little under a foot long. Yeah. So they do take up a bit of space, but it's only one of these per player in the game. So
it's not huge.
Yeah.
You can easily fit it on your table. Because I mean, they have to be kind of small because like the player boards are huge.
Yeah.
which is great though. It looks great, and you have a lot of stuff to manage because you have to manage your cars and all your specialists and everything. So
I'm gonna put all this stuff back in the box real quick. You can see how it assembles in. So your bottom layer, just fill in these out. And this does come with an instruction sheet on how to pack it back into the box, so that won't be an issue. And then we put in 4 of these guys, and then it's this and this. And this is a lot easier when it's not tilted. So that's obvious, but if you see me working with it, that's the main reason.
One thing you didn't mention yet is that the deluxe cover can be interchanged.
I was gonna get to that. You're stealing my thunder, Trey.
Well, I mean, you're just packing things right now. That's not exciting.
Yeah, it is. People want to see how all this stuff goes back into the box. All right. And then there are again 6 or 8 of these in the final. So you go 1.
Yeah. So there'll be another layer that we can't picture.
And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. With the rule books between those layers. And then you take the lid and you pop it back on. Bam, deluxe edition. So this is the fully loaded game.
Or if you prefer.
Yeah, or if you prefer, you can put on whatever cover suits your fancy. Yeah. So, yeah. Let's see. So there are a few questions that have come up. Packaging looks absolutely terrific. Yeah, Dan and Laura did an amazing job with this. Big props to the team put this whole package together. This was beyond my imagination, so I'm just as excited as everyone else is to see it. Are the tiles Kingdom Builder size? I think they're just maybe an inch larger than Kingdom Builder, but
it's been a long time since I played Kingdom Builder.
The hexes are larger than Kingdom Builder, but there are fewer of them per
The hexes
tile.
will hold 3 trains, which is what they're supposed to hold. So
yeah,
it's totally functional.
So I showed you all the functional components of the game. Now, when you get above and below the expansion, you do get so these are all the extra components. But you will get, obviously, there are more specialists, more player boards, all the stuff. Basically,
So,
above
yeah.
and below is basically another 30%, maybe 50% of the base game content. It's new
Yeah.
characters,
Let's say about
new
40 because it comes
You
with
think
metros. With the base game comes with no metros.
there's definitely new modes and such. Too.
And tons of new train cars, new specialists. So yeah, I would definitely say it probably has like 40% content base box. So
Okay.
you should get above and below.
Yeah.
If you think you're gonna like this game, you should get above and below.
We're not printing too much extra this time, so definitely grab it now. So with the base game, or with the deluxe edition, you get a few extra additional goodies. The first of which are the postcards set. So these are the 8 Metro posters that are in the game. So each one is nice, high quality printing, which you could frame and hang if you wanted to, but you could also mail it if you wanted to. Each one has all the trappings for an actual mailable postcard.
They're actual postcards.
Yeah, they're actual postcards, and they have little tidbits from the world of Indians, as though they were true travel postcards from this world. So you get a real artifact from the fantasy world of Indians in these postcards, and you get this art book, which is which contains just about all of the art that was produced original for this game. So we have it's the cover. It shows off the cover art, but I do have
fresco or
well, I got a standard game box, which if I set crystal clans on top of this, you can see the footprint is exactly the same as crystal clans.
Right? So yes, it will fit in a Cali square.
And it's 8 inches high, so yeah, it should fit fine. You probably won't want to store it on its side. You probably want to store it sitting up like this, but it should totally fit. So yeah, that'll work just fine. Anyway, art book. It's got all the art from the game, etc. Characters, and a little bit more information about the characters, graphic design, elements, etc. So all this. And that comes along with the rest in the big box. So yeah, so this is sort of everything that comes together in the full setup of Imperial. So if you guys have any additional questions, if you want to ask anything else, we're gonna sit here for a minute and answer any questions that come up in the comments.
I guess I should move closer to the mic.
Yeah, or answer any questions that you just have about production, timelines, etc. So leave us a comment. We'll talk about it. I am really excited with how everything came out. We did discover a few little bugs, so we are going to be sending some notes back to the printer.
Yeah.
Can you slide it any further, or do you want to? We can move this table.
Probably move the table. There we go.
There.
Cool.
Yeah. Great. So yeah. Do you want to talk about a few other things that we did the notes that we made?
Yeah. Let's see.
Just you can understand a few of the challenges for production. So, for example, with our rule books, we got or let's take a look at the box, right? So the original box here has a smooth finish. This has a linen finish, right? And so we want to make sure that that's consistent across all the games in the series.
Yeah.
So we're going to go with linen finish, on all those. So that's one thing that comes up. And then the rule books, because of when they send us these rule books, they send us a digital printing of the rule book. So that doesn't have the same linen emboss that the other rule books had. So we have to confirm that they have the right, texturing on all the components of the game. The tiles are all in. The punch tiles all look great. All the cuts are nice and clean. That's all worked out great. I kind of expected the art book to be staple bound. And because of that, a few of the, and I can show a couple examples, like some of the text ended up getting lost in the folds, right? And if you look here in the back of the book, you can see that part of the text is gone.
Is it too many pages to be staple bound? Now is the question.
It may be. So I just have to go back and revise some of this so that the art book, that it respects its gutters correctly because of the staple binding, or because of the perfect binding. So, so that's another issue.
the kind of thing we picked. And then you were concerned with the confusion of like 7 and 8 player board setup.
Yeah, we will come up with a solution.
Yeah.
Like it's currently possible, but it's like a little confusing. So we want to make it like streamline that process. So I have some ideas and we'll figure it out. But it will be fully playable by 7 and 8 players when you get your copy.
And we're taking steps to make sure that the 7 and 8 player game is easier to set up. Clearer to set up.
Yeah.
So so we got a few questions. Let's answer these.
Sure,
what do you feel is the ideal play count?
I like it like most board games with 4, but what's great is that the turns are so short, it actually plays 5 and 6 really well. Like the number of Euro games that I feel play 5 and 6 players really well is a very short list. Like I could maybe think of 5 to 10 games. I think this is going to be one of them just because it's got that you do one thing on your turn, you do one thing on your turn. So you're not taking like this really long, like as much as I love Argent, if you're not playing with like super experienced players, Argent can drag at 5 and 6. I don't think that'll be the case here. I think you can throw in some new players with 5 and 6 and it'll still move pretty snappily because you only do one thing on your turn. You might activate several different abilities, but you're still just taking like one turn. Whereas like, Argent, you might
be doing 3 or 4 things.
You might be chaining actions and stuff.
So, and to answer the second half of this question, late backers and backers of the Kickstarter will receive rewards at the same time. We're going to do all those shipments at once. We're getting everything together, but that does mean that it's going to be, it's just a little bit more logistics. It shouldn't be a big delay for anybody. We're going to try and get everything to everyone as soon as possible.
So, question about 7 and 8 players. Will it be any faster? No. So the game does scale time-wise as far as like the more players you introduce, you reduce the what it takes to trigger in-game. So yes, the game does scale with players, but at 7 and 8 players, there's no way to do that anymore because we've already reduced the amount of demand needed to trigger in-game to like the smallest amount for 6 players, for 5 and 6 players. So when you go to 7 and 8, that doesn't change. So 7 and 8 is just going to be longer than 5 and 6. It's not going to be a ton longer than 5 and 6, maybe another 20, 30 minutes, depending on how fast those other players play. But it doesn't scale. The game in Trigger doesn't scale to 7 and 8 players just because it just doesn't work. So yeah, if you're going to play 7 and 8 players, I would play with, probably experienced players, but also, it's going to be more of a kind of like, we're gaming, but we're also socializing. Because like if you're playing 8 players and you take your turn, it may be a couple of minutes before it comes back around to you.
Yeah, and just playing with the teams helps that as well because you're invested in the outcome of another player's turn too.
That's another cool thing. Like I don't know, I feel like it wasn't really super publicized in the Kickstarter campaign. Because we were still developing some of these elements as the Kickstarter campaign was coming out. But the game has a very robust solo play system. It has a very good team play system. It even has co-op play. If you play against the Automata AI, you can play it as a co-op, a full co-op game, which is a rare thing for like Euro games to be designed to play. There's the Orleans expansion, I know, is one. But the game is fully designed for that as well. So like there's a lot of different game modes and a lot of different ways you can play this game. So it's pretty great.
Awesome. Well, what's your favorite faction? What's your favorite company to play?
It's not so much faction as it is like captain, right?
Because even the same faction, the individual captains are really a different experience.
It's like whatever captain you have is really going to determine your play style. So it's really hard for me to pick. There's there's the green captain, caterpillar captain that like he can jump like over to another forest. That really is cool to like help you get around the map in ways that your opponents aren't really expecting you to do. There's one captain that lets you treat a hex next to your network as if it's in network. And that combos with a ton of different abilities in the game, so I like that. It's a little more advanced because you have to like visualize that, like, oh, I can make this hex like temporarily within my network.
There you go. There is.
So here is the caterpillar one. So he can basically just jump to another forest that's like 1 hex away. So he's really neat to like, your opponents didn't think you could get around the map as fast as you can. So I like the kind of surprise attack in that sense. It's not really an attack, but you know what I mean.
when you're
it can feel
pirating
like-
other people's goods,
It can
feels
feel like an
an
attack if you're like, I was going to deliver that good.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
And I think Alcyon is the one that makes you that lets you.
From other train games, as many of y'all have pointed out, is that your network doesn't have to be connected. We're dealing with magic trains here, right? So you can do things like jump around the map.
Yeah.
Things that other train games don't allow.
No, there's so many different cool abilities. One of my favorites, I got to play this character, Millicent here, and you can actually take a demand off the board and reserve it for yourself for later completion. So if you see that your opponent's about to finish a big run, you can just say, well, I'm going to reserve that one for me.
Yeah. Both Argent and this game really cater to different playstyles. Both have both offensive and defensive capabilities. One thing that is nice about this, though, that is not true in Argent. Argent has no friendly variant. So if you're playing Argent with people who can't handle that kind of direct attack, variant with them, and works out great.
So if co-op is players versus Automa, and you swap the Automa for a player, make it one versus many. Is it when you say it's cooperative? Do you mean really the players work together against?
Yeah. So me and Brad can take on 2 AI Automata decks. Right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we're playing multiplayer.
That there's an AI team and there's us team.
It's me. The stream. So my internet here is not the best in the world.
Yeah.
In fact, let me see if I could maybe kill some of my other background stuff to make sure that we're not using any extra power or any extra network.
The internet was fine yesterday too, so I don't know why it's being slow today.
Yeah. Who could say?
It's just when we stream video. Once you stream video, it starts to lag, and we're over a Wi-Fi here too. So.
Yeah. Oh, a note about the automata. So a lot of automata is a pain in the butt to run, but the one in Imperial, the AI is going to do on their turn. Yeah. So let's say it has a border, right? A white border that lets you know that this is the white company. Each automata deck has a delivery card. So when it comes out, it'll just be deliver. So this is the white company. This is their delivery. And it also has a special ability because each of the automata companies work entirely differently. They have their own special abilities. So they're asymmetrical. So that's where the solo comes into play is you have to beat each one of these companies and they all have a different difficulty rating in order to master the solo play. So
not just play against this company at the bottom.
Right. So if you want
to... stream is skipping so much. Will this be posted afterwards in a watchable form?
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Let me ask our guys downstairs to
stop using the internet, guys.
Stop using the internet. Wow, but I can't even open Discord to tell them to stop using the internet. This is bad. Gosh. Yeah, I can't access that. I'll be back in just a second. I'm gonna see if I can.
I'll just keep telling them about this. Can y'all hear me now, or is it still frozen? I'll go here. Let me switch chairs. Okay. So let's say it's the automaton's turn. You flip over this card 2 seconds. So the solo game is actually really smooth. I played it a lot, and I don't even play solo games. I generally like solo games, but playing I almost said Argent. Playing Imperial solo is just it's really simple and really fun. You get a lot of the same experience, I feel, playing the automata versus playing human players. So the other cool thing is once the automata is done going through its transfer, which helps them jump around to things that they need to get to, right? So as you play, the automata will ramp in difficulty as you play against it because it will keep adding these super powerful cards to its deck, which just makes it harder to beat, right? This one will add another. It'll add another powerful card to the deck and give them a rainbow build, so it can build wherever it wants, whatever helps it the most.
So, but it takes longer and longer for them to do future deliveries. In that case,
yeah. They'll make slower deliveries because their deck will be bigger, and they only have one delivery card in their deck. But that means their deliveries are going to be bigger, so they're going to be removing more goods off the map every time they do deliver.
Cool. Well, I think we got the basics of that. I'm pretty excited that it's all come together at last. And thank you guys so much for joining us and watching. I know that the stream was a little bit rough. Hopefully, it's gotten better now. I told everybody downstairs to stop working for a little bit. So
yeah,
hopefully the break will help. But anyway, if there are any final questions, you can post those. Otherwise, I think that you've seen everything that we have to show off today.
Yeah.
Let's see. Will there be anything about the instructions for strategies with these characters? For instance, helpful tips for noobs? No. For that, you'll have to go to Reddit and Board Game Geek.
Yeah.
You have to get it. Like that's the community's job. We just make the games.
Yeah, but you can definitely ask questions on. I'm very active in BGG and a little bit on Reddit, but mainly BGG. And if you ask questions in the forums, either I will respond or someone else who either is like one of our main playtesters or someone who's just really good at the game will respond, and we'll get a conversation going. I always like how those conversations just evolve organically, like strategy tips and whatnot.
Probably, like with a lot of our games, folks like to write strategy guides. So hopefully we'll see some cool strategy guides for the different companies in Imperial pop up. So cool. Well, thank you guys so much, and we will see you soon with more updates for Imperial. Again, if you are seeing this game for the first time and you're like, where do I get this for myself? Check our web store, level99games.com/shop. Click on the link for Imperial, and you'll be able to get all the stuff.
Yep. It is a fairly small print run, so while supplies last, tell your friends.
And also, it's not going to retail. So
not going to retail at all.
Will not be available in stores exclusively from level99games.com. All right, and Kickstarter. All right, thank you guys so much. And
sorry about the stream, but hopefully we can clear it up later.
All right, cool. If you could just click the in stream button, we'll be all set.
Bye, guys.